But Jan 12th, that's basically now.
What? No.
You suggested watching the trailer.
No, we watched the trailer. That's it. No.
I told you something was coming out. I told you something else was coming out.
Do we have to review film?
No, please.
Hello and welcome back to The Watch. We just watched the first episode of Velma. Now, I'm not allowed to swear in the first 15 to 25 seconds. So, yeah.
Wait until the 15-second mark and then we'll get into it. But I just want to say this is... Oh, Marcus is out. Marcus is gone. He's left the building. You can do it. I believe in you, okay, buddy? All right? You don't need to climb that tree, all right? Just stand here. It's all right. We can get through this together, okay?
It's too much, man. It's just too much.
To understand how the gravitas of this situation, Marcus loves reviewing. And he loves taking notes, pages of notes, to the point that it annoys me. He couldn't take notes for this entire episode of Velma. That's how bad this was.
Every 2 seconds.
There was just something every 2 seconds. It was atrocious. Like, hands down, this is the worst piece of content I have ever consumed in my life.
We just said that for, like, Blood Origin.
Like, this is... I'm trying to think of the words that can convey this enough. It is the most disgusting, vile, most trying to be self-aware, ends up being most unself-aware thing you've ever seen. And like I said before, when you guys were like, this is insufferable, I was like, it's just like hearing nails on a chalkboard repeatedly.
I believe I said I wanted to physically throw up.
Yeah, like...
At times.
And the thing is...
And I feel like I could have.
I keep coming back to the question, who the is this made for? And the answer is herself.
Mindy Kaling.
She literally just made this 100%. Like, this is not for fans. This is not for people who like animated shows. This is just for her. This is not for anybody else. Yeah. Period. Like,
it is the most self-indulgent, self-righteous piece of content you can ever make, saying, look how good I am at making everything. Don't you dare, like, hate it.
35 seconds. What is it?
Yeah.
This is an origin story all about me, Velma.
Yeah.
Within the first 30 seconds.
Don't forget the diss about, this isn't most origin stories are about guys who gain more power than they already have.
Origin stories are about tall, handsome guys being handed even more power.
That's in the first 30 seconds of the opening of the first episode.
Yeah.
And if it isn't, it's usually about girls. And it's like, hey, what made that hot chick go crazy?
Except for, characters like Buffy.
Yeah.
And then she goes on to say how I made the mystery.
Yeah. Call me crazy. I'm pretty sure it was a collaborative agreement that led to the working together.
And then there's even a slight against Fred.
Yeah, it's like...
and his sex van.
Yeah. Fred and his sex van. Like, it's just...
I created Mystery Inc., not Fred and his sex van.
My story told my way.
So, shall we jump into...
I reckon we do overall thoughts. Well, I reckon we do non-spoiler, as we like to do. I mean, look, I think... If you don't want spoilers for this show, then I think you're stupid, and why do you care so much about something that is so pointless? But in terms of how we do it here on Night's Watch...
We'll do
overall thoughts. Yeah. It was garbage. It was a turd.
Yeah, the numbers don't lie.
This actually may be a profanity-laced episode. Like,
that sense of thing is going to be going off a lot.
Try to hold back, but holy crap, it is the worst show I have ever seen from start to finish. Like, it is a breath of air when there's just a character. You can't even know. Like, I'm trying to think.
No, you can't.
There's no break. Every scene or shot is just something stupid, or someone saying something, or some gratuitous. Like, there's nothing of value in this show.
Yeah.
Basically, that's my overview of it.
So I'm a Scooby-Doo fan. As I said in the trailer reaction, I am
You have
a
my
Scooby-Doo
sympathies.
fan. I like Scooby-Doo. I like the original vintage cartoon. I like the newer stuff. It's for kids. It's good. This is not for you. Even in the trailer, remember there was that one scene where they have basically F you directed straight at the fans in the trailer?
Yeah.
Like, this is not for you. And now that I've watched the first episode, I don't even know who it's for. It's just for her. That's it. It's not for anybody else. This is quite literally like,
Apparently, it's for those reviewers that gave it a 10 out of 10.
which there was only like 3 of them. Even most of the reviewers are like, I'll flash up the Rotten Tomatoes. Like it's.
I'm sorry, but
It's
those
a
3 people
battlefield.
are mentally deranged and they need to go get therapy.
Well, you better look where they're located. I bet you they're from California.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they love it.
yeah.
Like this feels like California, the episode.
Yep.
So that's our overall thoughts. Now we're going to start jumping into the actual episode with spoilers.
Again, this is going to be just pure rage and anger and just...
So it starts
Yeah.
off with child nudity, basically.
yeah.
Yeah, basically a whole bunch of girls are just having a shower.
All in high school.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Oh no, actually, sorry. Before that, it starts off with 2 cockroaches doing it to each other.
oh yeah, we can't forget
yeah.
about the cockroaches
Like,
having a great
as soon as that
time.
happened, I was like, okay, that doesn't add any value. It's not funny, and it's just.
What's
Don't-
funny,
don't-
like, haha.
Don't,
Look at these insects doing it.
don't forget Crystal High. That's where this is taking place.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have...
So-
as if they didn't have the money to fix that sign, they wouldn't do that
I
immediately.
think it's important to like mention that the entire show, the entirety of it, is laced with like this meta commentary of like
Oh, wow.
they'll
yeah.
make a joke about what's happening in the scene as the scene is happening.
Yeah.
Yep.
They get real meta.
So we have to like, for example, the first scene, you have all the girls in the shower,
I think
and they basically say, "Oh, isn't it funny how like they always have nudity in the first episode, and then it just tapers off, and the actual show isn't about that."
Yeah.
As they have nudity in the first episode, and it's very meta like that throughout the entire episode.
Yeah, it wants to be self-aware.
It's like
Except when it's not self-aware.
it's like how She-Hulk did it a lot in their episodes of like, oh, where's the girls' bathroom? Oh, thank you. All this and that stuff. Oh, you don't understand, Bruce. I'm a woman. I've always had to, console my rage, yada yada yada. And it, like this, the whole thing started off with, all right, girls, we're having a team shower discussion together, all naked, like.
So this is all within the first like couple of minutes of the episode.
So the first
and,
2.
And my like
Yep.
4th point after this is she's so unlikable.
Yeah.
Like Velma, right out the gate, is
Oh,
just so unlikable.
Yeah, she goes in and abuses Daphne.
Yeah.
Physically as well.
She physically beats
Hits her
her,
with like a club?
and then she's just like insufferable.
Yeah.
And then
By insufferable, he means dialogue that just...
But even then, she's like, I'm the victim because
Yeah,
we used to be
that.
friends, but then I went fat, and then you didn't become friends with me anymore, and I'm going to kill you now. And it would be so funny to kill people. And we'll get to the lines, but there's a line as well where she's like, man, if I was a rich white guy, I'd kill people just to get away with it.
Yeah, that's the line
things
that
like-
actually comes up.
Oh, she's insufferable. The entire thing isn't like a big like. There's nothing redeemable about her. The whole thing is like meant to be all like, look how great everyone else
So-
is. Like she's on a
So
pedestal.
for the few people...
Everyone else is down below her.
Yeah, the few people that actually care about her, she treats like...
Yeah.
She absolutely just can't resist like denigrating them, making fun of them. And then the problem is, the show reinforces it by having the beef damn retarded all the time.
Yeah.
but it's just one of those things where it sticks out like a sore thumb. She's just unlikable. When she talks, she's basically just
Oh, but
to
she's
everybody.
quirky.
It's,
That's the excuse that so many will use.
Yeah.
and she even
Quirk
makes,
doesn't equal character
even-
if you're insufferable.
they even try and make the meta commentary of like, oh, I'm fat and ugly, but I'm actually hot. They try
Yeah.
and play
Yeah.
it like that, but it's like, no, you're just insufferable.
Yeah.
And a bit.
And there's just dumb stuff here, like how they were talking before about like the nudity and stuff, and they're like, no, like it's just because sex sells, and it's like, no, actually it was the story impact, and then they have this whole meta discussion about like, no, you know what, story, that's the most important thing, and all this stuff's happening. And I'm like, okay, one, you're not
In a
doing any
story
of
that's
this,
terrible.
and the whole story, you're right, Marcus,
Yeah.
was the worst. Like anyone, okay, my grade 3 stories that were like mysteries or whatever are better than what they could come up with.
Yeah, like we have the same old logistical issues that we have in every garbage show that we review on this channel.
Yeah.
Such as characters showing up in a place and then showing up in a completely different place at a different moment.
Yeah.
And you don't even know how much time has passed.
Yeah.
So pointing out something is ironic in the moment isn't witty and it isn't commentary. It's just obnoxious when you do it 10 times.
Or like for half an hour.
Or make it the identity of your show. That's
Yeah.
like it's
And then there's this whole dumb thing where like they're like race this whole race discussion with how, hey, Daphne,
yeah.
like, what do you think about how, they make a white guy, like Jesus is the white guy, or a famous boxer, Jesus, play Jesus in a show or character. And then Daphne's all like, well, as an Asian character, I think yada, yada, yada. And like, they have this whole meta discussion about all this crap. And like the Matrix, at least some people can be more blindsided to the most recent Matrix, how meta it was, and they're like, oh, it's a discussion about the game and the story and this and that. This is so blatant and poorly done. Like you said, it's trying to be the personality. The meta-ness is its personality.
That is the personality of the show.
There's nothing constructive about it, and so there's nothing you get in return from just watching this garbage.
So
you lose brain cells while watching it.
Yeah.
And you lose all faith in humanity for watching it.
After Daphne gets assaulted by Velma,
Yeah.
Velma then just chills out and starts having a conversation. Then she opens her locker and
Oh, yeah, look, dead body.
mindless violence, which you see in the trailer.
And then she says something along the lines of, what was it?
She has no brain.
She's got no brain. Oh, I mean, no, literally, figuratively, she does have no brain either. It's
so
like,
rude. And then she's
it's like, this is not the time for this. Even in comedy shows, they at least take a moment to go, oh, something serious has happened. Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like The Simpsons. Like, Homer's is made fun of a lot when he hurts himself. But there are even times when the show's like, oh, okay, he's in trouble right here.
like there's parts where you have like heart attacks, or like when things get serious in comedies, they still take those things seriously. That's what makes the funny things even funnier and the serious things serious, is when you actually take them how they are. But then she runs up at a police station.
Yep, she gets arrested.
And then she's
and conveniently, it just so happens to be Daphne's adopted lesbian parents.
But she's like, I'm just waiting for the like good-looking white detectives to come through, and I'll be difficult with them. And then these subverting expectations. Two women walk in.
Daphne I'm pretty sure I don't know if it's in the original cartoon, but I know that in the newer stuff, Daphne is a rich girl.
Yes.
And she's not adopted. So they've just yeeted that, of course, and now she's race swapped as well.
I'm sorry, just what are the odds that they're both just police officers in the same precinct at the same time and all of that?
I mean, they could have met on the job. That's nothing.
Met on the job, sure, whatever, but it had to be Daphne's.
It's just
and then
like
Fred becomes the rich white boy.
Yeah.
Fred was always rich, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think he was rich, though. I'm pretty sure he had parents.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
At this point, anything matters.
Like, this isn't connected to Scooby-Doo in any way other than just the name Velma.
Yeah. Anyways, so Velma thinks she's the main character because she's like, oh, I'm the main character. I've been arrested. This is what's going to happen. Yada, yada, yada. And then she says some line about how God isn't real and whatever. And the two detectives are like, you're so funny, Velma. Because the audience can't laugh at this, we got to tell them that you are funny. You see, audience, Velma is funny because we said so. Even though the thing she just said was not in any way, shape, or form funny.
Oh, yeah, I love it when she makes fun of those that care about her and do everything they can for her, and she just denigrates them like they're pieces of
Yeah.
Did she have
so
a panic?
much.
Did she have a panic attack there? I'm pretty sure she had one in the.
Yeah, she had like a little mini one with the whole
So
vision.
you learn that Velma is suffering from panic attacks, delusions, which is pretty typical of the average Californian.
Yes.
So that's what she's suffering through, and it's basically her own fault. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And then she leaves because obviously they can't arrest her for no evidence. It's a prelude to the end. You can, it turns out. But anyway, she gets off that and she meets Fred and Daphne outside the police station.
Well, she bumps into Fred and is like, damn it, you jerk! Yeah. And then apparently only white rich guys can be jerks because he's like, oh, I can't recognize ugly people.
Yeah.
And
this is where the meta commentary just doesn't work because you can't be all googly eyes over the white guy that you hate.
Yeah.
Like every time Fred talks, she's like, oh, I'm really into you. I'm really this. And then as soon as there's he's, insufferable. She's insufferable back. And it's like, okay, but which one is it?
I'll get emotional whiplash from this.
So either you hate him or you like him.
Yeah.
Pick.
But yeah, then there's just dumb little commentaries of how, because he's a white guy, he can be a jerk. But then I'm like, but you're a jerk through this whole episode.
Everybody.
Everyone. But you're not a jerk because you say not because this is your story, your way.
Then she goes home. Velma goes home. And she's with her dad.
Yep.
Just... basically.
Oh yeah, blames him for the mum disappearing and all that. Oh, that was great.
The fact that he like remarried and now has a pregnant.
Oh yeah, and that was and
That
apparently
was the most okay. There's a few uncomfortable things to watch in this show, but that was also uncomfortable.
I think we need to break it down. So like the first angle is she's an absolute twat to her father.
Yep.
And it's like denigrating him for remarrying, even though it's been years since the mother walked out.
Did he remarry? I thought he
Or
just
just
knocked
got
her
a-
up.
Just got a girlfriend, whatever. It doesn't.
Either way, new relationship.
New relationship, and yeah, apparently he's the bad guy for that. And apparently, I don't know. Did you guys get the vibe that they were making this pregnancy really, really uncomfortable?
Yeah, the whole like being
And that's the
pregnant is
thing. This
weird
is before the weirder part.
because there's
happens.
a baby inside you, so the hand was like kicking and whatever, and then she gets butt naked and starts doing a photo
That's the
shoot,
uncomfortable part.
and then like starts like bringing out like pumpkins and
Well,
like.
I mean, what can you expect, man? This is written by people who've never had children, so they don't know.
Yeah, but they just make it so freaky and like weird. They
Yeah,
like,
they have like
again,
the hand coming out of the stomach,
they make
and
like pregnancy is evil. Look how disgusting is this?
I don't
You
know.
shouldn't
I was
be
confused.
pregnant.
At times they were like, "Oh, look, pregnant woman." How?
Her dad is a lawyer, and
Oh, that was convenient too.
he's basically telling her that she is kind of like, people think you're guilty because you're a loser and weird. And
That's the reason.
she was voted the most, what was it?
The, like
Revengey?
yeah.
Vengeful, yep.
Revengey.
And what'd she do?
Because she wanted to get back the people who made the book about it. Like, it's clear that she is, basically. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Oh yeah, the show makes it clear. They
Like
don't
she
hide away
reinforces
from
it. She just
Yeah.
yes, and when they get a hold of my plans, like.
And then
okay.
she's insufferable to her stepmom, basically. And
Oh, yeah.
they start using hashtags to speak. Like, hashtag, she can't even use hashtags. Blah, blah.
See, this is the one thing I'm glad that we haven't had in fantasy because hashtags don't exist in any fantasy TV shows.
All I
Don't.
writ for this was incredibly modern.
Yeah.
That's all I could think of was just like, how much do you want to pander here? Oh, all the way? You want to pander 100%? Okay.
100%.
Yeah, they're trying to appeal to who again? I don't know.
again,
Who
it's
is
herself.
who is this appealing to?
I don't know.
I suppose if no, I'm trying. There's two different conversations there. Who it actually appeals to, and who they think it's supposed to appeal to.
I can't answer both. I can't answer either of those.
I think that who they think it's supposed to appeal to is Gen Zers. I'm
Or
guessing.
millennials, like in that like ballpark.
I feel like this is just as brain dead as TikTok. Like,
Yeah.
This is way worse though. Way worse.
so then we skip on after she's been insufferable to everybody. They basically skip on to the funeral for the girl who died in Velma's locker room.
Can we talk about where
this-
this takes place?
Yeah,
Oh wow,
in
this
the
is so-
diner.
No, I want to start with
The song?
the song is
Yeah,
sexual. But
yeah.
I want to go to what she says. Basically, everybody thinks that a should deserves it, blah 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 blah, and then she goes, but the particular girl that died, she was a rare and she didn't deserve it.
You think we're joking?
That is verbatim. Rare who didn't deserve it. That's how they were going with that.
You can't write any worse than this.
No, I don't think.
Like
it's
this is
possible.
the bottom of the pit. We are past hell.
How else can you put it into words?
We're
So
at
this
the
is a
bottom-
bubble. This is in a bubble.
This
they're
is in
writing this.
We're
this
out of planet Earth.
disgusting.
This wasn't written by a person.
This was written in Outer Darkness, where like they send all the demons. Like this is where this came from. This is from the depths of hell.
Nathan. I don't even think it's from the depths of hell. I think it's from like
hell's
some
too
weird.
bright for this.
I think it's like the bottom of the universe where all the dense aliens with single brain cells live,
Yeah, like
and they shipped it over here. It's like maybe this is what humans like.
But yeah, there's a dumb funeral where in a dumb place with the dumb music and
Yeah, 'cause it had to be a diner,
Usually, over sexualized pop songs sound good when they're upbeat, but since it's her favorite song in a funeral,
And it's like, okay, so why then play it at this funeral? Why is it here? Again,
It's only because Velma's working there now, and so she can show up, and then
Because she's the main character.
she's the main character.
oh, yeah,
and
it's
then
just been in every scene.
Daphne's all like, "Don't forget, guys, Velma killed her. Here's the files." And
Yeah,
then
we're
her
right at
mums are both like, that was a secret. You weren't meant to tell her that. Why are you giving your daughter's case file? Like this, it just gets dumber and dumber.
But hey, we're in the diner because that's how we can justify Velma showing up here. Funeral in a dingy diner. Yeah,
Should we get to the bit where she comes out of the diner?
Yeah.
And then like,
she speaks.
Can we talk about her?
Cockroaches appear, and then she gets locked out the door, and then you hear this weird like noise behind the bin.
And it's just Fred.
It's just Fred.
Oh yeah, he's just
He's just making weird noises because he's a guy.
No,
apparently.
we needed a fake scary moment. Well, a funny scary moment. I don't know what they were doing with that scene.
So basically, Velma gives Fred her exposition dump.
Sorry, before we get that,
can we stop?
We also talk about because does Fred share the info before or after the story?
What?
I think it's before.
How he wants to be a man.
Yeah.
I think it's before. Yeah.
And then Velma's like, Zam, Dilf, to like Fred's dad.
Okay, there's context needed for that. Basically, when Fred pops out and it's a fake scare moment, she asks what he's doing, and he basically he's like, oh, I'm never going to remember you because you're ugly, so it doesn't matter, I'll tell you. So he tells her basically that he wants to be a man because his dad is like a manly man, and she basically replies with, damn,
Dilf, to the picture of Fred's dad. So she's just...
She doesn't care, basically. So she's just
damn,
as shallow...
that's hot.
She's just as shallow as him, man. Like... Yeah. You are shallow. The person writing this.
Yeah, you talk about
you are shallow.
Yeah, you're like a sex addict anyways.
You think you're... Oh, we're making fun of the popular crowd. You're one of them, you lunatic.
I know she always, like, on Twitter, I've seen a whole bunch of, like, I wrote this of The Office. This is man. Like, you wrote this episode? Did you write all these episodes of Velma? They're not ironic. They're not commentary on anything. They're You live in a bubble. This is not the real world. People aren't like this. Kids aren't like this.
No,
people
they're not.
Our age aren't like this. You live in a bubble.
If anything, they're becoming more and they're becoming the opposite of this even more so because they see how insane it looks.
Yeah, kids are edgy now by being the opposite of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's how they're like rebellious now. Like, you know what? I'm gonna like be clean shaven and not swear and wear crosses on my necklace. Yeah, that's popular now. That's cool. Like,
the thing that
wake up.
I think the thing that's infuriating is just this is another example of it's a classic hijack of a ordinary, like a normal franchise.
Yeah,
of a multi-generational franchise.
Yeah.
Of like people's parents have watched Scooby-Doo. Kids have watched Scooby-Doo. I've watched Scooby-Doo. Our generation has watched Scooby-Doo. Like multiple generations have watched Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
This isn't even like a reimagining is too generous.
It's not reimagining. If anything, it's just
a desecration.
It's a sick parody. Yeah.
It's disgusting as well. Let's make that clear. We have this character eating like soggy chips out of dumpsters, and that's supposed to be it's so funny, isn't it? Oh, look how funny we are. It is so just. I mean, that's the thing. It's just bile-inducing, the whole thing. The dialogue makes me sick. The animation looks terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, who did this? Yeah. There's like one moment when I was like, oh, they actually took talent. Oh, wait, it's in this piece of garbage.
Yeah.
So Velma starts telling Fred her exposition. And
and it's unprompted. We're thrown into it. Because, here we go.
Basically, all I gleaned from it that was her mum was a smoker and a drinker. Like that's the main takeaway.
But it was also a writer that was very creative. And
her mum was a writer. Velma helped her and helped her have clues. And one Christmas, Velma discovered all the presents before Christmas and ruined Christmas. So Velma's mum left to get more Christmas presents and never came back.
That is as basic you can go.
And so she goes out and finds the car and cigarettes and gets her glasses and is like, I swear as a vow to always wear my mother's glasses to remember and never forget. Okay, one, that's a stupid, dumb thing because you don't have the same eyesight as her. You're probably just going to ruin your eyesight. Secondly, and this is the frustrating thing, she finds the package, or the gift for Velma, has it, keeps it for years, and then when she moves on, just throws the gift out.
Yeah, throws it in the trash.
We don't even see what the gift is.
Oh, but she loves her mother.
I thought it was just more interesting when she had her young little daughter bring her bottles of Jack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very Californian of you.
No, that's not very Californian. It's supposed to be crack.
But yeah, just the dumb thing of like, they make smoking look cool and drinking look cool, and it's look
doesn't look cool. It looks embarrassing in this show.
It's weird because it's in the perspective of a child, and it's like sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
Back in my childhood, when my mum would smoke, and she's just like, and then like you give your mum all the drinks and alcohol, which is like, oh, thanks, sweetie, this is great. She's
Well,
like,
the thing-
life's great until I solved too many mysteries.
I was too good.
Oh, like that. I hate stories like that. It happened in He-Man a lot, in the remake of He-Man. It was like,
Oh, I didn't watch it because
it
I
was,
have,
it was bad. I didn't watch it either, but I obviously edit reviews as I always do.
What were you gonna say there? You didn't watch it because
I just
because you what? Go on.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I am so very tired.
Just so you
I am
know,
a weary traveler on
audience,
this long journey, and I'm tired of this.
Their fault. I had to watch
No,
this.
it's not our fault.
It is your
it's
fault.
It's their fault. No, it's the people who made this, because our job is to review stuff.
We could.
And
we
this
have,
is something
we
we
have
had
so
to
much
review.
more garbage to review, and you chose
The
this.
worst.
What?
Yeah. Let's watch. We stay watchful for the garbage, and this
Audience.
could not stand by. This was Code Black, not being ironic. Because Velma is a different tone this time.
No, it's Code Rainbow. Get it?
Yeah, because they're all. Oh, this is such a spicy takes here. But they've changed everything
Yep.
to fit the agenda.
Yeah, for a second I thought they were gonna just reveal that Fred was actually gay. I mean, they set it up
I'm
in the
waiting for
episode.
it. I'm waiting for it.
I mean, yeah.
They reveal that he's a man-child instead, but I'm waiting for the confusion. Because
Well, I haven't seen episode 2, but I've heard rumblings of it, and it turns out
Oh, rumblings.
I already told him. So, like, yeah.
Oh.
I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but
And me, I don't know. And I
It's-
hope I don't ever have to. Audience, please don't let us continue.
But yeah, there's and then at the end of the flashback, Fred's like, "Wow! Not only do I feel emotionally hooked, I understand the stakes of your journey."
ironic, huh? You get it, right? As the audience, that's what you're thinking?
Like they actually think viewers have one brain cell.
Yep.
Like that's how dumb.
Well, here's the thing that I'm thinking. They create so much of this insane events, insane dialogue, and they hope that you just won't notice.
Yeah.
That you're on your phone and you're just looking at that and you look up occasionally, oh, that was funny, and back to the phone.
Yeah.
That's how they do this.
Yeah. That's how much effort was put into it. And then Shaggy, I'm just going to call him Shaggy.
Norville.
No,
they
it's
call
not.
him Norville in the show, but it's just Shaggy.
Yeah.
It's Shaggy.
It's Shaggy. It's what would you call it? Dry Shaggy? What? Sober Shaggy? What's the word for when he's not all up?
Reimagined Shaggy.
Reimagined Shaggy shows up in his car and
and he's
he's
a
like,
simp.
yeah, he's a
Yeah,
biggest
he's a
simp.
really bad one too.
big simp, and he's
But
like
the problem is, he didn't even choose someone that was.
worth simping
Yeah.
over. Yeah,
You can't go with, oh yeah, at least she's got looks
or brains or personality or like
or
someone
anything like that.
Nah,
Like-
she's
No, it's just
nothing. Anyway, he shows up to just tell her to read his voice messages.
oh yeah, because he just has to go. Oh yeah, listen to my voice messages instead of just saying it while you're
But
there.
it's funny. It's funny.
Oh.
The irony here is
It
funny.
doesn't make sense for his
He's
character.
an idiot. So it's funny. It's funny because he's stupid.
Yeah, that's how that works.
That's how apparently they want it to work.
Yeah, we need to make characters with a single brain
And then
cell.
it's like, you'll find out in the voice message, and then we cut to the end of like her listening to it. It's like,
Yeah.
and in actual fact, I don't know who it is. And then she's like,
it's
"Great.
like, so thank you for wasting
What was
our
the
time.
waste? Ah!
There's not a single character in this entire episode that I like. And there's, like, even in Willow, I like the Prince dude.
Yeah.
I like
Even-
Borman.
Yeah, and even in, what was it, the Witcher,
Witcher.
I like the dog dude.
Dogman.
Like, there is always at least one. Even in all these terrible shows, there's always one that you're like, all right, at least I hate everything
I
else.
can
like
tolerate
this.
you.
Yeah,
This,
brings up how I had doing. You know?
Yeah, doing.
this had none. There's
Had nothing.
nobody in the show that I found at all captivating or enjoyable.
they
not a
are
single
all
one.
horrible.
They're all vapid, shallow Californians.
Anyways, then they think that her like step or her dad's girlfriend is the one that.
They basically
Oh, it's quite a
they
leap, isn't
discover
it?
a whole
It's-
camera thing, and she's trying to solve a mystery.
Shaggy
She's like,
has
"Oh,
a
if we
camera,
find the camera, then
that he
we'll-"
gave to the girl who's now dead, and so they think that wherever she was with the camera, that's whoever killed her. And so we first think it's the girlfriend who owns the diner,
Yeah.
but then that was a dumb thing that's right.
Well, she
so
make-
Velma has this whole breakdown, and then it's like, oh, I thought girlfriend of my dad, I thought
Okay,
you were the
alright,
killer.
just hold up.
There's a lot.
That was like a crackhead ramble.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm sorry,
retake that.
the show's broken me.
retake that.
The show's
So-
broken me.
after we find out that Shaggy's a simp, and they go on basically a little brain experiment where they find out that there's a camera. The dad's girlfriend, wife, whatever, got a new camera, so she rushes home to try and get the camera from her because she thinks she's the one who's guilty.
It's quite the leap.
It is.
It's insane.
Yeah, it is.
And it's great that she isn't even torn up even a little bit about that idea.
Oh, yeah, she hates her.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, I hope she's like the bad guy almost.
Yeah. And then
She basically gets home and has a panic attack and has like a heart attack as well.
Or she looks at the pictures and it's just like little babies dressed in pumpkins or whatever. And the dad's like, oh, I'm sorry, Velma. That's how she can pay for... Me, a lawyer man who's apparently poor somehow, must be an awful lawyer. That's how she's paying for the camera, because she can take pictures on the camera of these little baby and whatevers. And then...
Velma's delusion kicks in.
Velma's just like...
Her mental illness.
It's just like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were the one that killed her. And then she's like... That's understandable. I get that.
Wow. Like, how does that even happen? Oh, yeah, that's understandable. Wouldn't you be like, whoa, what the heck is wrong with you?
I think
Why would I do that?
I think what I took from this scene was, because after this, basically she has a little heart-to-heart with her dad, and she remembers everything that happened as a child with her mum, like handing her the bottles of Jack and everything like that.
Including an eyeball falling out.
And she basically realizes that she was a terrible little child.
Yeah.
So her mother didn't love her and ran away.
Yeah.
And she caused her mother to lose an eye
Yeah.
that she keeps on somehow being able to put back in.
Oh, I think it's a glass eye. Oh, I don't know. It's
It's
just...
not-
again,
it doesn't matter.
gratuitous violence for
I
the
know
sake of
someone
it.
that has a glass eye that is not a glass eye.
Oh.
Okay?
So that's basically what happens in that scene. And
And it's as terrible as you could imagine. Actually, no. It's worse than you can imagine.
Anyways, she then wants to like give up. She's like, okay, mum hated me. That's fine. We'll move on.
she
Bye-bye present.
So her mental illness is now cured. Just
like that. Wow. Bam.
Until it isn't later on.
Yeah.
What, did you forget about that?
No. It's just like, because basically, after her guilt just vanishes, because she realizes that she was a terrible child. For some reason, she didn't feel guilt for her mother leaving because she's terrible.
Yeah.
She felt guilt because she solved a mystery and she was too good. So she goes to school the next day and tries to like have a glam up or whatever. Like
Yeah, she just
gloss
looks
up,
all
tries to
pretty,
look hot
whatever.
and everything.
And then at first everyone's like buying it. They're like, oh damn, she's hot. Yeah.
Because they're
And
that
then-
shallow and vapid.
And then one girl's like, nah, but you killed Brenda. And then everyone's like, yeah, you killed Brenda.
And they just get like random pieces of things at it.
and then some girl tries to murder her, basically, with
Throws
their
like lana cut thingy.
yeah, throws it straight at her, and Fred
and-
saves her.
Fred catches it, throws it, and takes the guy's foot off.
Yeah.
And there's just
And no one
blood
takes it up.
everywhere. That's the comedy though.
No,
Because
it's
it's so violent, and he would die in the real sense. But here it's funny because Fred's explaining how Velma isn't that much of a bad
Doesn't
person
make any
actually.
sense.
Like she may be ugly, but she's just a boy who wants to be understand.
How am I supposed to take
Misgendering
anything
her.
seriously?
That's funny. That's funny, isn't it?
And it doesn't hurt him because Fred's talking and he's popular. So
Yeah.
No screaming during that.
Oh, it just.
Why
Oh,
does-
and then we get the next insufferable scene.
Oh, which
Like the
one?
one that dragged on for
Okay,
way
so-
too long. The
All right,
toilet
which one?
scene.
So,
Oh, not this one.
this feels like an Office joke, like The Office, the show. But take away everything that's good about it. Like take away Michael Scott, take away Jim and all that, take away all the funny stuff, and you're left with this.
Yeah.
It is
Poorly executed.
It's like an Amy Schumer joke.
Velma is, for some reason, getting unpretty. She's just taking off the makeup. She's changed back to her normal clothes.
Oh, yeah, 'cause it didn't work.
It didn't work. Okay. And then, what's her face?
Daphne.
Daphne shows in with all her crew and is like, you know what, Velma, I gotta, and then gets interrupted by a flush.
Yeah.
And then a second flush.
And then a third.
And then a third maybe.
And then the door opening
opens-
and the person coming out washing their hands
hands.
and then drying their hands. And that
And
goes on for like
walking back into
40
the
seconds.
squad of girls.
And then,
And then Daphne goes to read her written thing. The alarm,
and then
the bell goes off.
And Velma's like, oh, just make it quick. And then Daphne just makes it quick and goes to the end of the speech. And it's jarring because we don't know what. Because they just started addressing, oh, you want to have Fred as your boyfriend. That's where it goes.
Yeah, and then
And it's like, whoa, where'd that come from?
And then Daphne's all like, he won't do it for you because he hasn't done it for me for a year.
Well, Velma replies with, "Oh, I want to see him naked. I want to see naked photos of him."
Anyone I'd see naked, I go, ooh la la, give me that. Like, okay, so you're just a horn dog. Yeah.
It's just so bad.
It's so bad on so many
It's worse than you could have
levels.
imagined. It really is.
It is.
I didn't think this was possible, but here we are.
But basically, she comes to the realization, oh, Fred must be the guilty one.
Also gay.
Also gay. So
Yeah.
she runs into Norval, Shaggy, basically, and says, drive me there now. That's it. And he drives her.
Because he's a simp. Yep.
Yeah. Like, that's... How else would you describe that
Yeah.
scene? It's just like...
And
Drive me there
he's
now.
writing an article about how drugs are bad and you shouldn't do drugs. And isn't this foreshadowing, guys? Isn't this funny?
Get it? Because of his future.
Yeah, so he's
Gotta be snorting crack.
And then, I mean, they make more weight jokes because, like, he tries to lift her over the wall and can't do it. And so she has to, like, scramble over. And it's like, "No, I did it elegantly. Like
Did
that."
you fall? It sounds like you fell.
It's just...
That is what it was. That's what he said to her.
Yeah.
And then she goes in, then she starts having panic attacks, right?
Yeah, and she breaks into Fred's home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. Breaking
that's
and
illegal.
Yeah, you're
I got-
already a suspected criminal. Yeah,
got
let's
it
just
here.
add a few others on top of it. Why
breaking
not?
and entering Fred's house. That's what I got. Because that's important, because at the end, it's important.
Oh yeah, very
But
important.
basically, she gets in there and she has another delusional panic attack. And
Better mum.
she realizes that... She realizes that no, her mum didn't not love her. She did love her, and it was because she was just too good at solving mysteries. That was basically the end.
So it changed back to the original origin,
She
apparently.
denied
Yeah,
like a child.
so any potential development you would expect, it's just gone.
Well,
Yeah.
it's denial. She was denying it like a child, just denying reality and reverting back to it's not my fault, basically. Basically, this is where Shaggy simps out to the max.
Oh yeah, because we find out the only way to
To break the...
break a hallucination is
For her to
well,
laugh.
at first we thought it would be a truth of some sort being revealed, a really nice thing.
Overcoming something, maybe?
But then it just became, laughing, and
It's a joke.
Shaggy essentially confesses his feelings for her, which are just I don't understand
He loves her, and he confesses that
a lot.
blatantly. She laughs in his face, and it's, you're like a brother to me. And she laughs, literally, just,
She's
that's
like,
hilarious. Keeps telling me more funny stuff.
If
Yep.
humor was attractive to me, I would be kissing you all over the face. Oh,
Yeah,
poor
she said that
Norville.
later.
You're the main character in my dreams.
sorry, but
that's
do any of
literally
you-
verbatim
Said,
line.
That's the one I wanted you to bring up because wow, that line is awful.
You are the main character in my dreams. That's what Shaggy Norville says to Velma
Not
to
even-
make her laugh.
Not even a simp would say that. Not even like the
Oh
the
no,
ones
they'd probably say that.
Come on, seriously?
The next scene is just like Fred,
Fred shows up.
Oh, where do we?
because
how do we-
she's broken into his house.
Yeah.
and
Into
she
his
breaks
bedroom.
into his room.
Yeah.
She finds the camera,
Yep,
the right camera.
and he's coming out of the bathroom
Yep.
because he's been very quiet about his body throughout this episode, and she sees his clean shaven legs.
Yeah, he's got no hair on his legs
Yeah, why has he got no hair on his legs?
because he hasn't hit puberty yet.
He hasn't hit puberty yet. Small, basically.
Yeah.
And
But these are like 17-year-olds,
This is a real show.
and he's a cool kid.
Yeah.
Apparently he's like hasn't hit puberty, but is like twice the size of Velma.
yeah, it's a mental illness. Like, basically, I don't even care to explain the next. But the what are they? The police.
Because
Yeah.
he tells her, and it's like, I'm going to deal with you the same way I dealt
It's
with her.
obvious that he's not going to kill her though. Like
Yeah.
he's obviously pulling something out, and then he pulls out
It
a
was
checkbook.
you could see it was the checkbook.
And they're
they're
still-
trying to like.
And the two lesbian
They
cops
pop him twice. They kneecap him.
Yep.
Both
Boom,
legs.
boom.
Both legs. And
And then they're going to arrest him still.
I know they're in his house.
Even the.
They've broken in.
Yep.
And she's broken in, and they arrest him for admitting
For committing the murder. Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't say that at all. He just said, "I'm going to do the same thing," and he pulled out a
your
checkbook.
Yeah.
And they still arrested him.
And then he's like, hang on, wait a minute.
But
I didn't kill.
And
And then they're like, what do you mean?
But gentlemen-
that checkbook fell out of your pocket.
And
But
then
Jess-
Velma,
Yeah.
the mystery solver, goes, "Well, mystery solved," and goes home.
But gents, who were the cops supposed to arrest?
Velma.
Exactly.
She was breaking in
I wanted to
entering.
make sure that
Yeah,
was clear
that's why
and
I
made
said-
explicit.
Breaking and entering Fred's house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The cops showed up.
And this is one of those things where you can go like, oh, well, maybe the original Scooby, they did that a lot. But it's like, but we're not playing by original Scooby-Doo rules now, are we?
No.
That's not what this is.
This
So
is a
you don't get to
whole
play by
new-
those rules, and you don't get to claim the protections that they afford for logic, like when you the story.
Yeah, yeah. And then there's a dump. So there's two dumb parts. So one, there's a part which says, after catching Fred, I'm back, baby. Or for start, you didn't catch Fred do anything because he was innocent. So that line is completely irrelevant. You've completely forgotten what your story was about anyways. Remember how story was meant to be king? You know, you said at the start with this meta discussion, story's the best. You can't even stay coherent to that. And then secondly, there's a whole description bit where she's like throwing out the present or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Shaggy's like, I thought you stopped having visions because you don't feel guilty anymore. And then he goes, no, I started having them again because I do feel guilty. Remember, viewers, I still feel guilt for what I had. I wasn't over the thing I said I was just over before. I'm an inconsistent narrator. Don't trust me because...
But I feel guilty for being too good at solving the mystery because she did love me and she didn't leave because I was
Yeah.
a terrible child. Like that.
So you still got the toxic problems you had to begin with. So that whole episode, we had an arc where she was kind of growing and progressing as limited as you would say that. As limited as you would say that. Okay.
But she doesn't need to progress. Like, why is she unlikable from the beginning? She's not supposed to be unlikable. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, there's a part which is like, oh, maybe I was a bad person. No, actually, no, I'm right. Everything's great. I was just right. Like, that was the whole arc of the episode. It went back down. Story is king, everyone. Let's just ignore everything about it.
Well, you guys articulated that very well.
So that was the first episode of Velma.
Yeah, as you could tell, we did not like
That
it.
was atrocious. Like, everything else I've been able to at least sit back and enjoy in some way or another. This show was so bad. It was like pulling teeth out.
It's brain rot.
Every frame, from the cockroaches doing each other to Daphne's discussion about nudity and sex and whatever in the pilot episode, all the way up until the end.
To one of the characters
I
called-
was suffering.
To one of the characters saying to Daphne, we're all just secretly perverts.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
did you guys? Yeah.
Yeah. The commentary on this
that could-
episode is just disgusting, and I can't think of I want to say a worse word than that, but it's it was feral.
Just to
this
remind-
show is feral.
Just to remind people, this was supposed to be Velma. You know, the charming one. That was, a bit dorky, a bit nerdy and all that. But at least she had, like, heart.
And
a
was
good person,
intelligent.
and was really
actually
smart.
Yeah.
That was the point. It's being smart.
Yeah.
It was just an ordinary person. And they had to mutate her into this abomination. Now, let's just not forget that little part.
No, we will.
And all the other characters, too. Like, Fred was always a bit silly, but he was never this.
He had heroic moments as
He had
well.
many.
There's something else I want to mention.
What
Because
else do you
HBO, it was HBO Max, whatever, they've came out and they've said, this is the greatest, like, this is the biggest animated show we've had. The opening, Velma. That's how popular the show is. Because they removed all their other animated shows. It's the only one.
Yeah.
So by definition, it is. Like, that's what they're trying to pull here.
It's the same they do with Amazon and the same with Paramount Plus, where it's like, this is the biggest show. It's like, yeah, because every other show you've had wasn't your own. You licensed it out, so obviously it wasn't that big. Hell, it was your biggest show because it was your first show you made. Rings of Power was the biggest show because it was the first, like, decent IP. You know, Wheel of Time would have been fantastic had they done it right, but,
Let's make that clear.
Yeah.
Rings of Power only did well in the first two episodes.
Well,
they tanked later.
But like for them, it was the best performing show because have you seen other shows on Amazon? Like,
Yeah, there are better ones.
Well, what's important
And
is the trailer. How many views the trailer has gotten? Because that
was
was
like 8 million now. And it's 400K.
8 million views on this trailer, and it's not like they're advertising it. This is people pissed off and do not like it. And how many dislikes did it have?
I believe it was 400K last I looked.
400. This is Rings of Power
And
disaster.
just remember, I've got to make this clear. That dislike thing, the plugin, estimates low.
We did this last time for the trailer reaction, and it was at what, 200 something?
Yeah, it's 200K.
And it only had like 3 million views. In like 2 days, it's gone up 7 million views or something like that. Like, and this isn't marketing. This isn't people like, oh, I'm really excited for this. People just are not happy.
hate.
Yep.
So, look, that's been this first review of Velma. I pray that we don't need to review more. The second one's out already, and so I guess we'll probably need to do the second episode.
Yep.
This is so bad.
You need to arrange.
Please
Nathan,
take this burden from us.
I demand therapy.
You demand therapy.
Yep.
Anyways, until then, everyone, please, for all that is good in the world, stay on watch.